The 2024 U.S. presidential election sent shockwaves through the nation. Donald Trump, defying all expectations, reclaimed the White House. His victory exposed a deep partisan divide and left many questioning the future of American democracy. Kamala Harris, the Democratic nominee and first female vice president, faced an uphill battle from the start. Despite her impressive credentials and historic candidacy, she was unable to overcome the challenges that ultimately led to her defeat. The outcome of the election highlighted the volatility of the American electorate and the powerful forces at play in contemporary politics. It also underscored the importance of understanding the factors that influenced voter behavior, particularly in key demographics. One such factor, which played a significant role in shaping the election's narrative and outcome, was Kamala Harris's stance on the Gaza issue. Kamala Harris entered the 2024 race as a formidable contender. Her background as a prosecutor and vice president positioned her as a leading figure in the Democratic Party. Her nomination was met with enthusiasm by many, who saw her as a symbol of progress. However, Harris faced skepticism regarding her record on criminal justice reform. Despite these challenges, Harris focused on healthcare, climate change, and economic inequality. She aimed to build a broad coalition, appealing to young people, minorities, and suburban women. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict emerged as a potent issue in the 2024 election. Kamala Harris's perceived support for Israel's policies in Gaza drew criticism from progressive Democrats and Arab American communities. Critics argued her rhetoric favored Israel and didn't address the plight of Palestinians. Harris was caught between appealing to progressives and maintaining support among moderate voters. Her attempts to balance the issue were seen as inconsistent and lacking authenticity. Our young voters, a demographic crucial to Democratic success, emerged as a key voting bloc in the 2024 election. These voters, driven by concerns over climate change, social justice, and economic inequality, were seen as natural allies for Harris. However, her stance on the Gaza issue, coupled with her perceived centrism on other progressive priorities, created a disconnect between the candidate and young voters. Many young voters, particularly those active on social media, expressed disappointment with Harris's positions, arguing that they did not reflect their values or priorities. This disillusionment translated into lower voter turnout among young people, particularly in battleground states where their participation could have made a difference. The failure to mobilize this critical demographic proved costly for Harris and the Democratic Party. Section 5. Middle Eastern Americans. A vote divided. The Middle Eastern American community, a diverse and growing segment of the electorate, also played a significant role in the 2024 election. This community, which includes Arab Americans, Iranian Americans, and Turkish Americans, among others, has historically leaned Democratic. However, Harris's stance on the Gaza issue created divisions within this community, with some members expressing support for her candidacy, while others felt alienated by her positions. While some Middle Eastern Americans appreciated Harris's experience and her focus on issues such as healthcare and education, others felt that her stance on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict did not adequately reflect their concerns or priorities. This division within the Middle Eastern American community underscores the complexity of this electorate and the need for candidates to engage with its diverse perspectives in a nuanced and sensitive manner. Section 6. Contradictory messaging. Sowing seeds of doubt. Adding to the challenges faced by the Harris campaign was the issue of contradictory messaging. Throughout the election cycle, Harris faced accusations of flip-flopping on key issues, including her stance on the Gaza conflict. These accusations, amplified by social media and partisan news outlets, sowed seeds of doubt among voters, undermining her credibility and trustworthiness. The perception that Harris was inconsistent in her messaging raised concerns about her authenticity and her willingness to stand by her convictions. This perception was particularly damaging in the age of social media, where information spreads rapidly and scrutiny is constant. Voters, bombarded with conflicting information and accusations of hypocrisy, were left questioning whether they could trust Harris to represent their interests. Section 7. Strategic missteps. The campaign's Achilles heel. Beyond the challenges posed by the Gaza issue and the issue of contradictory messaging, the Harris campaign was also plagued by a series of strategic missteps. These missteps, ranging from poor resource allocation to ineffective messaging, hampered the campaign's ability to connect with voters and build momentum. One notable misstep was the campaign's failure to adequately address the concerns of working-class voters in key battleground states. These voters, many of whom had voted for Trump in the previous election, were seen as essential to Harris's path to victory. However, the campaign's focus on progressive issues and its failure to articulate a clear economic message left many working-class voters feeling unheard and disillusioned. Section 8. The Democratic Party. A time for reflection. The outcome of the 2024 election left the Democratic Party reeling. Harris's defeat, coupled with the party's failure to regain control of Congress, prompted soul-searching and calls for introspection. Many within the party questioned whether the Democrats had lost touch with the concerns of everyday Americans and whether their policy priorities aligned with the needs of the electorate. The party's failure to mobilize key voting blocs, such as young people and working-class voters, highlighted the challenges it faced in connecting with a changing electorate. The election results underscored the need for the Democratic Party to reevaluate its message, its priorities, and its approach to voter engagement. Section 9. Moving forward. Bridging the divide. The 2024 election exposed the deep divisions that continue to plague American society. The campaign, marked by acrimony, misinformation, and partisan rancor, highlighted the challenges of bridging the political divide and finding common ground. Moving forward, it is essential for all Americans, regardless of their political affiliation, to engage in constructive dialogue, to listen to one another's perspectives, and to work together to address the challenges facing the nation. The future of American democracy depends on the willingness of its citizens to transcend partisan differences and to embrace the principles of unity, civility, and respect.